On today's show, we talk all about Monster Hunter Wilds Title 1 Update Showcase, and we turn Monster Hunter Wilds into a roguelike? So don't forget your hot drinks as we ready up for this episode of The Palibros. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of The Palibros, a podcast where a group of friends get together to talk about anything and everything Monster Hunter. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, and the first to cart, Patrick Jovez. Alongside me, we have the Mixette Maniac, Brian.
Hey there, everyone.
The Hunting Horn Elitist, Max.
Greetings.
And so tasty, Ryan.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Feed me.
I don't know what's going on.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
We got a lot to talk about. You know, we seen the Title 1 update showcase that went live. I guess we're recording on a Thursday right now. That went live Monday or two? I think it was Tuesday morning. So a couple days have passed, but we recording the whole thing. We got to get our thoughts and stuff out there, but we're gonna go ahead and talk all about that today. But before we do that, we're just gonna have a little bit of housekeeping for you. Of course, this is your last chance to get Expedition Headgear Alpha 1 from quest event Like a Fire Hidden by Sand, and that's at the Windward Plains where you fight the Raytheon. Of course, you must be Hunter rank 9 or above. This ends April 1st, so hopefully I get this episode out before this all doesn't make sense. And then you also have a new one that's also before the April 1st. You have a chance to get the Drool Shrooms from the quest event Congalala Cravings, which ends on April 1st, like I said. It's at the Scarlet Forest where you have to fight the Congalala, and you also have to be HR 9 and up for that one. So go ahead and try and get all that while you can before the next update, and you should be good. Another piece of housekeeping: I slightly updated our logo as well as made it a completely brand new separate channel for the Palibros Podcast. This way it's easier for all you hunters out there to find our channel and all the fun stuff we got going on there. Right now I'm slowly in the transition of moving all the old stuff over. But for the next couple of shows, I'm going to upload them to both channels until I can completely separate the podcast from my personal YouTube channel. So if you like us and want to keep up to date on all our shows and all the fun stuff that we do, go ahead and subscribe to the Palibros channel. It's the profile picture looks exactly like ours now, but it's an updated photo with like the palicos that are on here that you see on your screen right now. But everything's exactly the same, and I'm gonna just try to get everything over to that side. And until then, they're gonna be uploaded to both channels, so that should be easier for us in the end to kind of grow our audience. But with all that out the way, let me remind you that this is the Palibros Podcast, where each and every episode we try to keep you up to date on the latest Monster Hunter news, play Monster Hunter trivia, and in general talk about one of our favorite franchises. So don't forget, you can get each and every episode on youtube.com/@thepalibros, Spotify, and a variety of podcast services. And if you like what we do, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing this video with friends, and hitting that bell icon to help support us and to know when each of the latest episodes are posted. With all that said, let's begin our show with the latest in Monster Hunter news. Today in Monster Hunter news, we have one story, and of course, it's all about the Monster Hunter Wilds Title 1 Update Showcase. Now we've got a lot to talk about, and we're pretty much going to cover everything that was shown on the showcase. But if you'd like to go check it out yourself, you can either watch the official showcase on YouTube or check out all of it at monsterhunter.com. But for now, if you want to just listen to us, here we go. So the Monster Hunter Title 1 showcase, which debuted a couple days ago, it showed pretty much everything that we're looking forward to that comes out on April 4th. I think it said April 4th BST. Not sure what that time zone is, but it says April 3rd for us PST. So keep an eye out for that. They kind of broke it down into different sections like monsters, Grand Hub, Arena Quest, some other things like that. But we're gonna go ahead and kind of follow along with what they shown. So we'll go ahead and start off with the monsters that they shown at the beginning of the showcase. And they started us off with the Mizitsune. You can go ahead and unlock this by talking to Kanya in the Scarlet Forest. But there was something also that kind of caught my eye. Did you guys? I wonder if Max, I think you might have caught it, right?
Let's see.
Probably. I'm not sure what you're thinking of.
There were bubbles on fire at one point.
So it does seem like there's going to be some crossover between the Soulseer Mizitsune or most people might know it as the Apex Mizitsune from Rise.
Exactly.
So there was some new moves, and as well as at least one new move, I think, where it sort of jumped up into the air. I'm not.
Oh, that's the one where it kind of launched the guy, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's the one before he gets like shot with like water beam or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the bubbles on fire does raise some questions.
Yeah, it even, if you look close enough, it even looks like it's darker than the regular colored Mizitsune. So it has to be some sort of variant, you know.
Or they could have just incorporated some of the moves into the normal moveset for the Mizitsune.
That's true. I guess we'll find out come April 4th. But after that, we go ahead and see the Arch-Tempered Ray Dao event quest. Now, they say that they say that the tempered versions are stronger. The arch-tempered versions are stronger than the tempered, and they also showed off some new armor, such as the Ray Dao Gamma and the for the hunter, and then the feline Ray Dao Gamma for your Palico. And then for this event, you have to be HR 50 and over, so it's gonna be pretty tough. I guess
I'm ready.
One of the
I'm ready
bigger
for
challenges that we kind of had, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone that's been kind of looking for a challenge, like, here we go, like they answer that right off the bat.
I think that like Ray Dao's moveset, even when it's like in its current tempered form, is just too slow to really be scared of it. And not to say that it doesn't mess you up, it still hits hard and can be really fast, but maybe it's just because we've spent a lot of time with it already, that it feels like very familiar. I mean, it almost, not quite, but it almost feels a little bit like a Rathalos to me right now, where I'm just like, every single moveset just feels very predictable, and he does a lot of pauses. So I'm really excited for this one, just because it feels like this will be like actually like tempered gore kind of level of like, kick your ass kind of thing. Like you're gonna card at least once. So it hitting harder and having less downtime between its attacks is going to be super fun, and I look forward to it a lot.
It's funny to hear you say that, because it feels like leading up to this title update, it kind of seemed like you were, I don't want to say that you were like on the fence on difficulty, but I think you were one of the ones that were more so on the line of being like, just wait, it's going to be harder, like for everyone that was like, oh, immediately this is a baby game and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool, like, to hear that you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for, because it is kind of.
Well, and look, I haven't played very much of the end game in the previous titles, so it's not like I'm an expert on how hard this game can be. I just have a general sense that this game scales really hard in the end game, and I thought it was very funny that people were complaining. That was kind of it was a reoccurring thing that people brought up frequently, and it was like pretty much brought up consistently amongst early reviewers. Yeah. And so I'm like, the reason I kind of really dug my heels in on that is I was like, yeah, well, you can't really assess the difficulty of this game, if the game is like, if you got sent the game as a reviewer, 2 days ago,
Mm.
and you haven't even made it to high rank yet. So
Yeah.
you know, now that we're kind of like actually have a good sense of it, I would say that the game isn't super hard, but like it's challenging if you look for it. You know, I saw a really funny thing that's worth noting too, real quick, that some guy posted it on like Reddit or something, saying like, "Oh, I didn't even realize there was high rank armor until after I did all the high rank stuff," and everyone's just like, "Oh wow, like challenge mode accidentally unlocked. Okay, I might have to try that." Like,
Wow.
we might all have to, you know, just go with our low rank stuff and then try to fight the tempered Ray down. I'm sure we won't be complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Of course, the next thing that kind of popped up was something that Max brought up in, I believe, the last episode. We're getting the Zoshia again, and that's pretty freaking cool because, you know, in the story mode you only get that fight once. So now that's going to be accessible after completing a mission that unlocks at HR 50. So again, you have to go through the story, even the stuff afterwards, to get this to unlock. And also you can select it in the environment overview, which will appear in Wyvern's Awakening in the ruins of Wyveria, and can be made into a quest. And, you know, typical Monster Hunter stuff, you could forge equipment from it. I believe they showed off some really crazy looking armor sets for both the hunter and the cat.
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool. It has that same kind of like black and white vibe from the actual Zoshia fight.
Yeah, we didn't actually. There was no armor in the game as of before Title Update 1, since it only gave kind of the generic Guardian parts when you fight it in the story. So, yeah, the weapon and armor looks really cool. I'm excited to see what kind of skills it has.
Yeah,
I can't wait to craft that great sword.
Oh yeah,
I must have it.
And so
and the
then
Palico armor too is also just like excellent. I love.
Oh yeah,
honestly,
I love that it was just like, oh, that's cool, and then it like you know, undulated out kind of like when you get the Zoshia weak, you know, it's like has that blackened head, and it's like that's its ultra instinct mode or whatever. So I love that the cute little Palico has like the goo like coming out of it, like it has like an alternate mode or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that they've kept the spirit of the monster in the Palico armor.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good attention to detail. And then so that's it for the monster section. They then move into a pretty meaty section, at least from what I think, which is the unveiling of the Grand Hub. This is the whole gathering hub thing that we were all kind of looking for when the game first came out. It was like, where the hell were we all supposed to meet up and drink and play games and do stuff like that? And like after seeing this part of the trailer or the showcase, I was like, this is going to make my like final score what I think the game is going to deserve, which is a 10 out of 10. Like when we did our initial thoughts, I was like, something is kind of missing. It's like the charm, which I didn't bring up in that episode, but I brought up in future episodes. But I was like, yeah, there's a lot of charm missing from this game, and this is the section of the showcase where I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I was talking about a couple episodes later. They showed off drinking, like it starts off with everyone at the giant table drinking together, just like doing that emote where they're just swinging like their meat around, or I don't know what they drink.
Palico chefs are back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you see the cats bringing a whole bunch of different food. There's arm wrestling, which I can't freaking wait. Like, we still haven't figured out how that works after many years, but somehow I'm like almost undefeated against Brian. So that's gonna be great. Jury's still out on whether you can actually get drunk, which I'm hoping which you can.
Yeah,
I don't remember if you could in World. I know you couldn't in Rise, but you know,
I don't remember.
Then there's a really big one, which was kind of cool. This is you know, adding to the charm of the game, but actually has pretty cool rewards. Is the new mini game Barrel Bowling. This is the one where they drop off a barrel at the top of a cliff and they actually just bowl with it, which is fun and silly in its own right. But you could also play that game to earn useful pendants and items for hunts. And I guess the kind of way to actually play the game, it seemed like they said something about using vouchers from logging in. So there's gonna I don't know, it's a kind of way to kind of keep you coming back in, I guess.
Yeah,
which is
do it endlessly.
Yeah, you can't just do it endlessly, which is kind of weird, but I'm gonna be playing the shit out of that. So, but then they also opened up this section with a really cool thing that for you Animal Crossing fans out there might be familiar with. You get to see the diva singing at Suja, and yeah, she sings the main theme of Monster Hunter Wilds, which is really cool. You can
Wait, is that a reference to?
No, but it's very Animal Crossing, right? Like I think if you like clock or play at like on Saturdays or something, KK Slider's like having his own little concert, and this very much feels like a kind of influence from it. You could even like go to that area and like watch the thing like it's an actual cutscene.
Yeah, focus it.
Yeah.
I will say that I was a little bit let down because when I saw that in the beginning of the title update showcase, my immediate thought was it was going to be like a story continuation, or like, what does this mean for the story?
Yeah, I thought that too.
Oh, it's just somebody singing in the club.
That's like the cleanest the lip sync has ever been on a cutscene too. So I was like, damn, they stepped up the new story, and it's just like, oh, it's for singing.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks cool. I know I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, it would have been nice to see for the people that wanted more story stuff. But we got some cool singing, so that's what you get.
Same thing.
It's free. What do you want from them?
I know.
But then they also go into a kind of, it depends on who you play with, but you could go ahead and do squad management at the Grand Hub. They actually are moving the squad manager person from the Windward Plains camp, and they're going to move it straight to the Grand Hub, which kind of makes me feel like a lot of this was kind of like ready to go. They just couldn't get it into the game before release date. So go ahead, Max.
Well, the person's only moving over once you unlock the hub. Yeah. So,
and that's HR 16 and stuff like that. I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's only been a month. But yeah, there you go. And then Ryan kind of brought it up. It was like the Palico is serving food, and possibly they're cooking as well, which I'm super excited about. Super happy to see.
Yeah, I guess they didn't technically show them cooking. They showed them serving.
Yeah, they just showed them serving. They had a couple different dishes and stuff like that, but we'll get into that part later.
I really hope they would. I can't imagine Meowster Chef is there and they didn't show it. So I'm a little bit thinking that we'll get the hub and we'll get the eating back in the traditional way, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get the Meowster Chef. Yeah, because people would have been so hyped to see it in the trailer. So I couldn't think of a reason they would leave it out. So I don't know. We'll see if it's in there.
I mean, what comes to my mind is I wonder how this new potential cooking system is going to fit into what's already in the game, because we have the whole system of cooking now where you need the different ingredients and the kind of ingredients that we have now are not. It seems totally separate from the kind of full meals that they're serving. Like what they were eating in the Gathering Hub looks more like one of the special meals that one of the NPCs would treat you to. So I don't know if this is going to be like a limited eating system or if it's going to.
That's a good thought. It could
be another way of serving up the same cooking system that we already have.
Yeah, but just more prettier package.
Could be like you could cook, in the way that you cook in your tent, you can order all of that food from the cats instead, would be my guess. And then every once in a while, they will also have special meals from the Gathering Hub, would be my guess. Like whoever the head is, maybe it's Meowster Chef or something, will offer you a meal or something. And that's where the stuff from the showcase is actually from. Because it doesn't really look like some of the it's not cabbage with honey.
Right.
Yeah. But then so they go ahead and move along with the showcase. The next section they kind of jump on is the arena quests, which when I was first reading about it, it didn't seem like too big a thing for me. But then when they kind of dived into it with the showcase, I was like, okay, this sounds pretty freaking awesome. So they kind of start off with the there's like arena quests where hunters compete across the world for the fastest completion times in the arena quests, and that's at the Arena Quest counter. So this is like your leaderboard kind of PvP in a way, but it's more like a ranking board where you just kind of try to beat the event quest as fast as possible. There's like I said, there's rankings leaderboard that you can see right at the beginning of the Grand Hub at the Expedition Record Board entrance. And then there's also challenge quests and free challenge quests, which will also be available as a limited time event quests. What you can get from them are pendants as participation rewards, and can be even more special pendants depending on your own personal time / world ranking. I believe they said, okay, so they broke down what arena / challenge quests and the free challenge quests are. So for the arena and challenge quests, they're fought with predetermined equipment. So that's a pretty big note right there, is okay, everyone gets a chance to do this as fast as they can, but to keep it fair, we're going to use every single thing, like everything is going to be completely the same. So you could truly
start getting good with the insect glaive, y'all.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some weird ones.
It's gonna all be long swords or some shit. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then they have the free challenge quests, which have no equipment limits, and you can have up to 4 players, just like a regular hunt. And like, I'm glad that they gave us both options. I think that's a really cool expansion on replayability of this game.
I have some pretty strong feelings about this, depending on how lenient they are about needing to, like, the special rewards for your ranking. I think is kind of like, there's some serious cheating issues. Like, the leaderboard has existed since, I'm pretty sure it was in Monster Hunter World, and it may have also existed for Arena Quest and Monster Hunter Rise. And Monster Hunter World, I'm pretty sure you look at the leaderboard and it's like pages of people that have killed the monster in 1 second. And it's like, if you want to get something cool and like you need to be in the top 50 or something, like, unless Capcom is really stepping up like the anti-cheating stuff, like, people are doing plenty of stuff with Monster Hunter Framework and other things. Like, it's basically going to be unobtainable for a lot of people if it is actually world placement. Because I guarantee you those top spots will be all cheaters.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is it won't be, I guess the rewards won't be gigantic enough or like special enough. But that being said,
they looked kind of cool, but it still would be pretty lame. If it's, you just basically get locked out. By a bunch of people that are cheating. By no means is what I'm saying is like okay for cheating to happen, but like, at the end of the day, like, for me personally, it's not going to change much. What I really want to know is like who out of us and like out of our friends could be like the fastest and stuff like that. But look forward to that. When that comes out, you could go ahead and sign up for the arena quests and the free challenge quests at the arena counter. And that's kind of what they kind of brought to the table with arena quests. I thought that was a pretty cool little addition to the game that was kind of missing. And then they go ahead and move on to what I believe is the most important news that they've talked about. And you could change Alma's outfit. I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, are you serious?
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
You can make her look even cozier. Like the giant blue, like light blue scarf. Oh my god! Like,
look, anyone who's actually seen this showcase already thought you were gonna say something else. I just have to say it.
Dude, it is. It's the most important. Like, okay, so you could change her appearance at camps. You get a free new outfit with the update, so everyone can change her clothes. Which they later show that she has a handler outfit for all you Monster Hunter World fans.
No,
look, it's kind of jarring to see, to be honest.
I noted that as well. I was like, ooh, this is interesting. There's a lot of like the Venn diagram of people who like both Alma and the handler, I feel like, is very small. It's like a little sliver.
But there's a certain side mission as well that after you complete, you can change her glasses, which I'm not gonna do because I like the original glasses, but to each their own. But other than that, in this section they also had free content is coming, including classic gestures, which we saw and kind of dove into like the more like, oh yeah, we missed kind of the charm of the game. They even show the flex, like, come on.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it's part of like the emotes. But they showed off 4. They showed off the drink flex. They showed off provoke. They showed off so provoke is the one where it's like, come on, like throwing your hands up in the air, like, if you're an old Monster Hunter fan, you know what provoke is. Because at the end of that emote, it gets real weird. And then even better, if you know, they showed off despair, which is the one where you drop to your knees and hang your head low. So, old school Monster Hunter fans, those are your 2 right there. They also showed clap, which, is always a fun one. So yeah, they're kind of building up the charm again. Emotes has always been a huge part, not huge, but a fun, charming part of Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter series. And I'm glad that we're getting some of these classic emotes back in the game, because that was kind of one of our things, right? Like, we started playing a lot more, and it was like where the hell do we emote? And we have to go to like communications tab, and there's like stickers and stuff. I'm like, I just want to like shrug or like kick back, shadow box, something like that. And then they also kind of showed off that cosmetic DLC pack 1 will release alongside the update. Premium Deluxe Edition and cosmetic DLC pass holders will be able to download this content immediately upon release. They showed off some emotes, some newer emotes, kind of like showing off weapons and stuff. And then they kind of showed like this kind of fairy Navi type thing that was kind of just following the hunter on its back. I don't know what kind of cosmetic that is.
There were talismans like that in Monster Hunter World as well, where instead of like something dangling off your weapon, it would be like the little jellyfish that would float up at your shoulder.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming those are talismans. I also thought the secret armor looked pretty cool as well. I believe that's also coming in the cosmetic DLC pack.
Okay. I think I might have missed writing the notes for the sacred armor. Did it look? What did it look like?
There were 2 of them. I think there was one that was like a little metal helmet, and there was another one that was like a black metal armor with like some little horns in the front.
Horns. I remember the horns. Cool.
Well, I was doing this during lunch, so I think I kind of missed out. So yeah, look forward to that. They also kind of showed off new camp gear options for people who like to customize their camp. And during this section, oh man, they hit me in the feels. They started playing the Poke Village theme, which was so good. Also showed off some like giant plushy chairs that you could have around like your camp. There's lanterns you could put on the actual camp, pop-up camp itself. So yeah, like for people who like customizing their camps and stuff like that, that's gonna be all up in the update. You could just look forward to all those kind of customizations and stuff like that. Like, these are the little things that kind of go a long way with Monster Hunter. It's starting to feel a little bit more customizable and fleshed out in terms of just like offerings.
I will say that I do feel a little bit bitter about the fact that, as somebody who spent $110 on like the super ultra edition, that they specifically mentioned upcoming DLC, cosmetic DLC that's not going to be in the cosmetic pass. Which is like to announce that before that there's like stuff that is not in the pass coming before they've dropped a single update for people that have bought the pass. It's kind of like that feels like a little bit of a punch in the gut, but
yeah.
Well, now you can use your despair emote.
Yeah, that is me that for free at least.
Yeah. Then after that, they go ahead and move forward with it. They just kind of say event quests, and it says more event quests are coming. Of course, you can gain your special armor and gain ingredients for cooking. This is where they showed off that cool ass Strider, like what is it, scarf, like Strider / Shinobi scarf. I'm like, oh shit, that looks pretty sick. That was just like a quick overview of that. I think they also showed off maybe an earring in that section, but yeah. So more event quests, more coming, more cool stuff to get. Limited time, so make sure you get there and do the quests while you can. Make sure you're the appropriate hunter level or hunter rank, and you should be good to go with that. And then they kind of showed off the revival of seasonal events at the Grand Hub. Of course, if you haven't played this before, when you're at the Gathering Hub, they go ahead and depending on which season it is, they kind of change all the decor and all the meals and stuff like that to kind of the appropriate season. So like Halloween, Christmas, like any type of season. But what they showed off in the trailer was April 23rd is the celebration of spring with the Festival of Accord Blossom Dance. And that, it changed everything to like vibrant pink, and they kind of changed like the food to like different, I guess not cabbage and honey, but it's like, I think he ate like a giant sushi roll or something like that. Really cool. So you're going to see people's appearance change, meals change during seasonal events. You can get limited time equipment, limited gestures, get more pop-up camp decorations and more. In addition to seasonal event quests, most previously available event quests will also make a return. So if you miss out on some previous event quests, most of them, I don't know why it wouldn't be all of them, but most of them will be able to come back and you should be able to get the rewards there. So that's pretty cool. And then they kind of end it with a roadmap of what's going to happen following the Title 1 update. It says at the end of May, the update version 1.011, they're going to do a Capcom collaboration with another Capcom ID or IP for Monster Hunter Wilds, which is, Monster Hunter is no stranger to having other Capcom IPs show up in Monster Hunter. Like I think Monster Hunter World, for all those who play that one, there was Street Fighter 5 stuff. Was Devil May Cry was in that one, or was it in a 3DS one? It was one of those.
I know Resident Evil 2 had a collaboration.
Resident Evil 2
or the remake.
In Monster Hunter Rise, the one I looked forward to the most was Okami, making your Palamute Amaterasu from Okami. So I'm hoping, this is a Capcom collab, but they have collabed with Square Enix in the past as well, with Behemoth at 24 on the top 25 list for some reason. So I'm hoping you could get an actual Chocobo to ride, because that's pretty much what I'm riding. But yeah, I wonder what the actual Capcom collaboration is. Like, I'm trying to think of what games are hitting for them right now, and it would, I guess their last big Capcom title. Wait, was Dragon's Dogma Capcom? I forgot.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Dragon's Dogma, and Street Fighter 6. So I don't know. Dragon's Dogma feels kind of close to Monster Hunter, so I don't know how different it would look. But they had Ryu and I want to say Goki, but Akuma. I think they might have even had Chun-Li in Monster Hunter World as a like emote, Shoryuken, and stuff like that. So look forward to that. I hope for another Amaterasu one, because Okami 2 got announced earlier in the year. So
my money's on Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest one. Japan. Yeah. And then they also said other additional features like adding a list of all the endemic life you've captured will be added to the game as well. And yeah, that was pretty.
I'm curious if that means that they might remove the cap or allow you to release some of the ones, because there's that weird thing where you only have like 2,000 slots or something, which is a lot. But I haven't reached it yet, so I'm wondering, like, do you stop earning research points at a certain point? Like, is there, if you hit the full amount, like, are you no longer able to, get 5-10 research points from catching a fish or something? So
I did see there was a Reddit post where somebody had said that they hit the cap on the maximum number of endemic life that they could catch. And there's nowhere in the game right now to release them, so you're just kind of.
I don't think anyone even thought there was a cap. Like, why would the game remember the 2,000 like fish that you caught? Like, that just feels weird. Like, that's just like yeah. I'm curious about this list thing. I know it's not the most important part, but like, I feel like I do more endemic hunting than anyone else here, so I'm a little bit afraid to hit that cap, because I'm basically always throwing my net around as I'm going from place to place. So
I think I caught one
have,
fish on accident.
I have like 40k research points.
Damn.
So
I mean,
Just as a
that's
point of
good. You're
reference.
enjoying all the game has to offer,
Yeah.
so that's great. Like, this may not be big for a lot of us, but this is a big thing for you. So
I think
that's exactly what they're going for.
Yeah, it's cool to see that they're kind of touching on all aspects of the game, because there are some people that are definitely sleepy hunters like me.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the end of the showcase.
But wait! There's more! Hang on to your seat, baby! Cause this one's a screamer!
There's actually a kind of Marvel Avengers style, like, after credits scene, which I'm pretty sure got all of us riled up, and it was the teaser for Legiacris.
Oh, wasn't Dodogama?
Let's go.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? The color looks really similar.
Yeah.
My immediate reaction was very hyped, but then my favorite part about it, honestly, was just seeing how other people are reacting to it. Like, all the drawings and memes people are making of, like, Uthduna looking sad in the corner, or, like, photoshopping a Tigrix at the top part of the frame, you know? Just
Yeah.
because it only shows the claw, right? So,
Right.
yeah, you know, we all know, but, like, that, I've been enjoying to see some of the remixes already of people, like, kind of, you know, joking about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, Legiacris is a great pick. As we can see from our last episode, it made top 10 for Monster Hunter monsters of all time, for good reason. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one coming up in the summer update. But yeah,
Right. That's not like a secret monster for April. Unfortunately, I mean, look, I would rather it be spread out a little bit, so I'm okay with that. You know,
yeah, that's fine.
this will be the equivalent of the Musatsune for the second patch or the second pre-update.
Exactly. But yeah, one thing I didn't see, which I thought we would, was whatever that. Well, maybe I was gonna say whatever that mystery monster is. That's gonna be harder. Was it the Raidao? I guess.
I mean, they did
Yeah,
say
the
it would
Arch.
be harder.
Yeah.
They said it was a mystery monster that would be harder than a tempered monster or a new challenge.
Yeah, so it'd be the
I'm
Raidao.
assuming that would be arch tempered.
Okay.
I also think that there's, I mean, we have like tempered Arkfeld and we have tempered Raidao and everything, so I think it's possible we also get tempered Zoshia, and that might be brutal as hell. Like, that could be like because he's got like a couple moves that are like 80% like of the arena that you fight him in. So a tempered version of that, it could be, you know, kind of maybe even similar to the Jindahad, like super like ice castle move, you know. So a tempered Zoshia could also be a pretty brutal difficulty spike.
Oh yeah,
'Cause,
definitely.
we only fought it like twice, you know. So it's like, you know we haven't really had a chance to fight him again. So that could also be what they're referring to. Regardless, it seems like there's a lot of really fun content for people like us who are like kind of craving a little bit of extra challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good media
also,
update here.
I'm also expecting them to maybe try and put in like a layered weapon system at some point.
Yeah.
I know the people that are everyone using all of the arson weapons are getting maybe a little bit tired of
I'm saying the same.
having this rocking the same looking weapon all the time.
We got layered Alma before layered weapons.
You goddamn, you saw that comment too.
I was like, yep, that's priorities right there.
I mean, yeah, it's the biggest update. I told you.
Yeah, not the Legiacris, not the Legiacris.
Oh
somehow.
man, yeah, no,
Oh.
we got to make her look comfier and comfier. The less skin you see on her, the better. So good. What?
There isn't a meme of Legiacris claw with Alma on top, but I'll have to make it for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll keep that one to myself. And that's it for Monster Hunter News. Now, hunters, if you hear that sound, that means we're all readied up for our main topic of the show. In today's topic, we turn Monster Hunter Wilds into a roguelike. Now, here's what's going to happen next. We're going to go ahead and do a hunt with completely random variables. Stuff like random weapons, items, and monsters. How do we choose? Well, I took the liberty of creating 5 different wheels to spin, so let's go to them now and see what we're hunting. Okay, so the first wheel we're going to choose from is the monster wheel. So let's figure out exactly what we're fighting. And of course, if you see here, we have every single monster that's in the game coming from. There's the Blaganga, Rathalos, Jindahad. We even have the Guardian Fulgur Anjanath, Guardian Arkveld, all the variations, and we're gonna go ahead and spin to see what we're gonna be fighting today. Any guesses?
Ooh.
Or anything you want to avoid?
Depending on the weapon, let's see.
Yeah, let's definitely not do tempered gore with a insect glaive.
God,
Please.
I really hope that's what we're going for. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel.
Now, is this tempered or not tempered?
I was gonna leave it up to you guys. I didn't want to make too many wheels, but it looks like we're going to fight a Guardian Doshiguma.
Okay.
Oof.
That I think
We
deal
can
with.
work with that.
And then now we're gonna move on to our second wheel. Actually, let me go ahead and write that down. So G Dosh, and then now we're gonna move on to our second wheel, which is the solo or group wheel. Basically, it's gonna decide whether we all hunt with the same weapons or all different weapons. So let me go ahead and open that up. Let me see. Weapon wheel. Oh, I'm sorry. That is the wrong weapon wheel. It is solo or group wheel. So, yep, you can see right here it's 50-50. Either we all have individual weapons or we do it as group, meaning we have all the same weapons.
Go all hunting horn.
That's what it could be that.
Please.
Okay. Luckily, we have all individual weapons, so we're going to go ahead and choose all of our weapons with the weapon wheel. So we could have gotten a break there, but we'll see. Now let's move on to our third wheel, which is the armor wheel. In this wheel, you can either have high rank armor, low rank armor, or my favorite, no armor at all.
Oh god.
So here we go.
Come on, give me.
No whammy, no whammy.
Okay. We got
We get
low
some.
rank armor.
Okay.
Okay. So, I forgot to write down individual
I'm
armor.
praying for hunting horn so I don't lose my perfect hunting horn only guild card.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Start a new profile.
Yeah.
Do it.
I can't taint my guild card with longsword playthrough quests.
Yeah.
And the fourth wheel we're going to go ahead and move towards is the weapon wheel. This is where we spin for our weapons. If we get the same weapons from option 1 of the weapon wheel, then of course we would spin it once to figure out what we're all hunting with. But since we have individual weapons, we're going to spin for each of the Palibros co-hosts or hosts and figure out what we're all hunting with.
Who goes first?
There's also a chance to land on the iron weapon space, which means whatever weapon we have has to be iron only. That it is the base weapon of the game for each of the classes. So hopefully you don't land on that one. Weapon wheel. Who wants to go first?
Ooh. All right, throw me in.
All right, here we go, Brian. You're
All
hoping
right.
for that big lance one right here, right?
All I know is Lance, so let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
You got,
Just
you got
so-
light bow gun in the pocket.
Just
That's
to
true.
preface this, what do we actually play with? Like, what do we know how to play with? Brian, what do you play with?
I can play with a lance. I can play with either the bow guns, and I'm okay-ish with switch axe, but not great.
Okay. So we got what, 4 out of 14? Here we go.
I'm doing good. Oh baby, give me that! Give me that! Give me that!
Brian gets the hammer.
Hammer. I'll take hammer. I haven't
Okay.
done hammer in a long time.
Big bog.
Nice.
Okay.
Brian. So we'll put Brian as hammer.
Mhm.
Brian is a hammer bro. Okay.
Mhm.
Max, you want next?
Give me next.
All right. What are you comfortable with?
Hammer or hunting horn.
Hammer.
All right,
I
hunting
can
horn.
play hammer. I can play
you
hammer.
have played
I can
hammer.
do-
I've seen you play
I can
hammer.
do gun lance. I can do either the bow guns,
Okay.
but mainly hunting horn.
I'm actually gonna see if
I can do sword and shield too.
I could change this really quick. Okay, just so I could hear the wheel, the spinning sound. So you said hunting horn, hammer. You said sword and
Hunting
shield.
horn, hammer, sword and shield, gun lance, bow guns.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Just not insect glaive, please.
Switch
So
axe.
you almost got Insect Blade. Switch axe.
Nice.
Last time I used the switch axe was in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
That's quite a while.
That's a long time ago.
All right, Ryan, you're up. So what are
Let's do
you
it.
comfortable with? What do you want to see? What can you play with?
I mean, greatsword, obviously. Bow's been my backup weapon for all of Wilds, so those two are my mains right now. I did main a little bit of light bowgun and Rise, but yeah, I've kind of been a greatsword boy the entire time. So anything else? I mean, look, I'm always looking to try new weapons, so it's like I've very, very minimally dabbled in everything. Just tried everything at least once, but I could not. Tell you like most of the combos for most weapons. It's literally just basically those three, like greatsword, bow, and light bowgun.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. Do the wheel spin?
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Oh, he's like, cool.
Let's go.
You got the bow.
You'll be our damage dealer.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's the only one
I got
who's.
us, boys.
Yep.
I got us, boys.
All right, and
I'll have my level 8 bow while everyone's got a crafted level 4 hammer or whatever.
sorry, I forgot to write this down. Max, what were you gonna be using? The switch axe, right? You're a swaxer.
Well, technically, I did use switch axe in Generation, so that's striker style, spam one button over and over again.
So we're not completely helpless. And then for me, I'm comfortable with the charge blade. That is my main weapon. The last time I played anything different was probably I guess I played a little bit of longsword in Rise. Also a little bit of bow and Rise. I haven't touched that in here though, so I don't know any of the changes. I know I get unlimited ammo for some coatings and stuff like that, so that'll be nice. But yeah, so I guess I'm looking at a 3. Well, I played greatsword before when I first started as well, so maybe about 4 out of 14 chance. So yeah, here we go.
Let's see what you get.
No whammies. No whammies. Holy fuck. Great. Give me. Yes. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Woo.
Okay, you can take that.
That was close. I got the longsword.
But we all managed to avoid the insect glaive. That's what's really important.
For now.
My hands are going to be thanking us later. They're going to be cramping.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move to the 5th wheel, which is our item wheel. For this wheel, there are 4 choices. We can either have all items available, only healing, which means potions and mega potions, only cleansing, i.e. like deodorant, no berries, antidotes, or we could have no items at all. Those are the 4 choices. May the hunting gods be with us.
Please.
Yeah, no palicos for us either with the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Me with that,
We were
dude.
so close to
God.
no items, but we actually did get to inch out on potions / mega potions. So for that, just to be 100% clear, only 10 potions, only 10 mega potions. We can't bring things to create more potions.
So we can't collect honey in the field or anything?
No.
Okay.
Those are 20.
Yep.
Okay.
We get 20. That's all. So let me go ahead and write that down. Potions / mega potions.
But we can use vigor wasps and vigor mantles and stuff, right? If we see
You
them
know
on the
what?
map.
Okay, no gathering, but I'll say okay to vigor wasps and like
Okay.
whatever those
Because
vigor.
they're not in every area.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fine. But no more making items, if that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Okay, so just to reiterate our run, or I guess recap the run before we get into it, we are going to be facing the Guardian Doshiguma, where we all have our individual weapons. Brian is going to be running hammer, Max is going to be running switch axe, Ryan, luckily enough, is going to be running a bow, and I'm going to be running a longsword, so me and Ryan kind of lucked out on there. For armor, we have to use low rank armor, and we can make whatever we want or whatever we have on file. And for items, we're going to be using potions and mega potions only. 10 of each, nothing to make more potions, but vigor wasps and like those vigor sprays are okay to use. Now for audio listeners, what's going to happen next? Just like in previous episodes, we're going to put up our footage of the hunt for the video viewers, but that doesn't mean you're going to miss out. We're also going to have our post-hunt clarity report playing over our hunting footage so that you can listen in on all of our thoughts about the hunt after the fight.
Post-hunt clarity, you dirty dog.
You like that one, huh?
Yeah.
And then also the entire hunt will be uploaded on the YouTube channels, complete with all our real-time reactions, so you can watch it there for you to enjoy. Definitely check it out. This is our first ever episode where we do Monster Hunter Wilds roguelike, and I have a good feeling that this won't be the last. And before we go into the hunting, any predictions? How do you think this is gonna go?
Oof. I feel
Doshigomi's good. He's not. We got him pretty down, I think.
I think the Guardian Doshiguma is easier than the normal Doshiguma, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Famous last words. But of course, we'll see. You know, I'm hopeful. It's gonna be fun either way, and let's get to it.
Yep.
All right, guys. We're fighting a Guardian Doshiguma with low rank armor. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. Brian, since you're a hammer, I want you to go for the head.
You got it. You got this.
Max, since you're a switch axer, I don't know what we can cut off of the fucking Doshiguma, so it just goes for its ass.
I'm on it.
We almost took off Ryan's head there. And Ryan, since you know what you're doing with your weapon, you just do your thing.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Palibros, and this is our first time ever doing Monster Hunter Wilds roguelike. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I'm starting to get tired of levitating over here.
I can't
Good job. All right.
Much longer.
All right, guys, we finished the quest. Now it's time for our post-hunt clarity report. We did it.
Something else.
No.
Feeling weird about this.
Well, it's only weird if you make it weird.
All right. Well, I made it weird. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. So we survived our very first Monster Hunter Wilds roguelike edition hunt. What did you guys think of it?
Went a lot better than I thought. Yeah.
I think we got lucky this time.
Yeah.
We actually had armor on. We got healing items.
Yeah.
I feel like we all got weapons that we're like reasonably comfortable with. I mean,
2
I
of the
agree
4.
that Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with the weapon that I got.
Yeah. It definitely did make me have to think about how to attack differently, though, because I was like, okay, longsword, I'm kind of comfortable with this, but I have less armor, so let me not be directly in the line of sight and just try to attack from the back. So it made me think about playing a little bit differently, which is kind of cool. What did you guys think about what did you guys kind of spec your armor to for the variables that we were given?
I know I only had a few low rank sets that I had still in my box, so I ended up equipping a lot of what I used just when going through the story mode.
Same.
So thankfully I still had that there. The skills weren't really useful for hammer, but I did slot in with the 1 slot decoration pieces we had. Divine protection. I was like, give me
Divine
that 50% reduction. I need it, or chance. And then for the weapon itself, for hammer, I did cheese a little bit, and I just crafted a last minute Arshian weapon, and had some good dragon on it, and 3 large slots. So I just kind of put whatever I could in there: some slugger, some charge up, I think it was called, and some extra dragon attack, and it worked pretty well.
Nice. How comfortable did you feel wielding the hammer in this hunt?
I would say maybe I was at like 60%. I feel like hammer's moveset, for the most part, has a lot of the same nuance as it did from past games. There's of course a lot of newer moves and some better ways to probably chain into different attacks. but it felt kind of at home in the sense that everything I wanted to do with it, it was doing. There would only be a few moments where I might press something. I'm like, wait, I have this now? That's kind of cool. But, it felt good.
So did this convert you into a hammer user now, or
with the hammer boinker? Yeah, I might need to dabble in that a little bit more, especially if there's a much needed buff to the weapon, because I think a lot of people want some changes there.
Did you try out like the heavy? Was it the mighty charge they're calling it? That's like the new charge system where you start spinning the hammer.
Didn't even know how to do that.
That's a whole new system where you go like mighty charge, and then you can chain from like the mighty charge hit into like the swing.
Whoa!
So you can do like an infinite combo between those. Yeah, it's very strong.
And there's a whole bunch of memes going around right now where everyone's doing that mighty charge dance, and there's just like that. There's like some sort of like toad or something looking at him, just kind of like in awe.
Oh my god!
Yeah. But what about you, Max? You were one of the unlucky ones with a different weapon type that you're kind of not as accustomed to. You went ahead and did the switch axe, right?
I did. It's been quite a while since I've used switch axe, but I have used it pretty extensively years ago. But I mean, the core of the weapon is still pretty much the same, with like the wild swings and switching to sword form. A lot of the core of the weapon is the same, so it wasn't terribly uncomfortable, but they've added a whole bunch of new gauges and other systems that I'm not familiar with. But I mean, it's still a lot of fun. It's a weapon that makes you feel cool even if you're just pressing buttons. And you're making explosions happening and spinning and swapping between forms, and it's a lot of fun. I'll probably try using a little bit more in the future.
That's great. Well, did you end up gemming in certain things from what you had for this run?
So I was using the low rank Balahar armor, which is like the only low rank armor that I had. So defense is pretty poor, but it has evade extender, which is nice. Okay. And so I didn't have any slots for my armor.
Yeah.
As for weapon slots, I was just using like the rarity 5 Rathian switch axe that I got from the trader ship.
Oh, okay.
And nothing too. I didn't really spend too much time on decorations. I just kind of slapped it all together.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. But yeah, just really quick for clarification, I believe low rank or high rank armor and weapons kind of start at rarity 5, right? So we're all using low rank, which was rarity 4 or below. I believe we all try to use 4 just in case for some extra like defense and stuff like that. But I
was on rarity 1.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of things. I think for me, I was using Arkveld stuff, so a little cheaper, but you know, I did have to use a longsword, which is my secondary in this game. So luckily, I was able to do that. I was using Paralysis, the Lalabarina longsword. So you'll see in the video that we got a couple of good, paralysis stuns and stuff like that, which I think definitely would help if we had a like tougher monster or like worse weapons. But yeah, I felt pretty comfortable in mine. I was just more so worried about being in the line of sight of the monster, given that we have less defense. So I definitely tried to attack it from a different vantage point that I'm used to as a charge blade main, which usually I'm just like, oh, I'm fine with anything. I have a shield, so I could do like offensive guard, like counters and stuff like that. But now I'm using my secondary weapon as a longsword, and I have less armor, so I consciously was approaching it from the back and making sure I was never being targeted, because I didn't want to. One, I'm not good at the counters because I haven't really used it that much in this game. And like 2, it was like, yeah, I don't want to get touched. I think the one time I did get touched, I was like, oh, okay. Luckily that was just like a nudge, because I feel like I would have just gotten my head and like torn clean off. But the luckiest one of the group got to use his main weapon, one of his main weapons. Ryan, how was this fight for you?
I felt pretty good. Felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. It was so easy.
Set was ready to go. Yeah,
I know. His set was ready. He was like, "What are you guys doing? Like, let's not
waste some time."
Yeah, it was still fun though. To be honest, it's kind of not in the spirit of the challenge, so it's a little bit boring. Kind of wish I got like stuck with something weird, but I'm sure I'll I'm sure
Be
I'll
careful
regret
what you
saying
wish
that
for.
next time.
Exactly.
So, might as well just take the win for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a fun kind of addition to the show, and I was very much looking forward to this leading up to like creating the podcast, and we're gonna fix some things. Had some weird things that I'm gonna have to fix in post that you guys won't even realize was an issue, but I had a lot of fun. I think one of the funnest parts of this was actually figuring out what we were gonna get. Like I was when the wheels started spinning, I started getting nervous for. It's like, oh shit! I think I almost got something that I had no idea how to use, and then I ended up getting the longsword, which was pretty clutch for my end. But yeah, I dread the day that we all have to do a no armor, iron weapons, no items run, which might be soon.
Happen.
It's gonna happen, and I think it's gonna be one of the funnest hunts that we're gonna have. But let us know what you guys thought of the first ever Monster Hunter Wilds roguelike run. If you have any suggestions for like other types of variables that we could do, go ahead and shoot us like some comments, or shoot it down in the comments section. But yeah, like I said, I think this is a really good addition, a fun one for kind of playing the game that we are so accustomed to being like really good at in a different kind of way. It kind of shows that you could play this game in any kind of way, and maybe we pick up some weapons or armor skills or something like that we might eventually want to gravitate towards, which is
we definitely awoken something in Max, that's for sure.
Yeah. He was like riding a bike. It's like, oh my god,
Charge Blade is pretty Switch Axe is pretty fun.
Yeah, all the Switch Axers are listening to this. I'm like, yeah, we got him back.
we're really just harming ourselves, because like the healing hunting horn is going to be out of rotation, and then we're going to be missing it.
Yeah, that's true. The rest of us, or who knows, maybe we're all going to be using a hunting horn in a future hunt.
Ooh, like Max, show us the way. We'll follow your lead.
It's going to be Max's like musical teaching lesson.
Be jamming out in the corner on top of the monster.
You're like the mama duck. We're all like the little ducklings behind you, just trying to follow what you're doing.
I would say band practice, probably.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Max's band practice. That's gonna be freaking awesome. Yeah, I look forward to that. But that brings us to the end of this episode of the Palibros. Brian, Max, and Ryan, I want to thank you guys again for coming out for another episode, and of course, fellow hunters, I want to thank you for watching this episode of the Palibros. So don't forget, if you enjoyed it and want to keep up with us, you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or you can follow us on Spotify or a variety of other podcast services. Please give us a good rating on those podcasts. It would help us out a lot with discoverability and the algorithm. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast doing this podcast for nearly 2 months now, and it's honestly, I look forward to every time we do the show, and it's just the main reason I created the show was to hang out with my friends who I barely get to see anymore because of life and stuff like that. So I'm really glad that we're sticking to it, and we're 8 episodes in, having such a fun time. I hope that comes across to you guys. I hope you're having fun with us, and until next time, happy hunting.